Hello and welcome, and today we're gonna talk about how to do this big damage for the pan on a physical team. For the team lineup, I'm using Lifeng as my debuffer and also a sub DPS if you have the Mountain Spear, his signature weapon. So he is one of the best debuffer for physical team, especially if you have a P1 Lifeng. And the physical susceptibility stacks with Ardelia's susceptibility. So they are different debuff, and that is weird, but both of them can work well to the pan to maximize his DPS. And I have Administrator here because it works with P1 Leafing. I'll explain that later. So I have Administrator to do the first vulnerable stack and also do the Origium Crystal, which will further enhance the damage of the pan because the Origium Crystal does increase the physical damage taken of any mobs that has taken an infliction of the crystal. So that's why I have an Administrator. Also for Administrator, if you finish the main story, you will get his potential pace 1 and 2. So the potential pace 1 gives you a 50 SP when consuming the Origium Crystal. So this is the crystal that you attach to the mobs when you do a combo trigger. And then for the potential phase 2 is when the crystal is expires or being used, the administrator gains the attack buff for all allies. So he gains like 30% attack buff, but for the allies is 15%. So that's a lot of attack buff for anyone who is gonna kill the boss during stagger. It will be very beneficial for us. And then Ardelia, she is the one that I'm controlling most of the time because she initiates the combat to create that corrosion and then transform that into physical susceptibility. So it will work well to the pan as well. And as my main DPS, it's the pan here. So why P1 Leafing is very important to this team is because of this one. So the battle skill, physical susceptibility is increased by 5%. But the important one here is it triggers this additional effect to the enemies with no more than 2 vulnerability stacks. So whenever if you have a boss or a mob that has 1 vulnerability stack, so it will still do a vulnerability at the same time do a physical susceptibility. And because without the P1, the his battle skill is kind of annoying. So what it does is it applies a physical susceptibility only if there are no vulnerability stacks. So if there's a vulnerability stack now, it won't apply a physical susceptibility. So it fixes him to work without much worrying who goes first. So that's why P1 is very important to him. And also the administrator won't work with Li Feng without the P1 because his battle skill will only trigger vulnerability stacks on the first whenever the enemy has no vulnerability stacks. So do be careful when using his battle skill, administrator's battle skill, because if the enemy has a vulnerability stacks, it will consume all vulnerability stacks and just deal a massive damage. So you will lose the rotation for the pan if you accidentally use this. So that's why P1 Leafing works now with admin. But if you have a P0 Leafing, you shouldn't use admin and use Chen instead or Pog if you have Pog. I still don't know what Pog does, so I still lean towards Chen because she is a good sub DPS and also a great vulnerability stalker. As for the gears, I'm using Mountain Bearer for Lifeng. And for the set bonus, I'm using Eternal Serenite. It's because I have a P1 Lifeng. So timing the buff of this set, it's much more easier because I'm using the susceptibility on the second vulnerability phase, and it will time well to reach the pants combo skill. So if you use Serenite to Ardelia, it won't reach the buff won't reach the pants combo skill. It's because we are using Ardelia on the first initialization of the combat. So the corrosion, it won't reach it until the pants combo skill. And if you have a PC Rolleifing, just use the Swordmancer set, which is for admin. I'm using the Swordmancer just to get more stagger, which is the main what you wanted to happen to for the pan to combo trigger during the stagger phase to get more DPS. And as for the weapon, I'm using the Grand Vision for admin, which is the best in slot, I guess. So for Ardelia, I have the free weapon signature that you get from logging in for Ardelia. And I'm using the Frontier set because I am controlling Ardelia, and it's much easier to trigger this set bonus for the team, especially if you are doing the final strike to get the corrosion, and as well as when you stagger the boss, you will recover some SP if you do the execute on that stagger. So you gain this damage bonus pretty consistent to reach the punch combo skill as well. And as for the pan, I'm using the exemplar. You will get this on the event when you reach authority level 45. You will get a weapon box, and you can get exemplar from that. And for the set, I'm using the Aether Tech. It's pretty much the best set bonus that you can get. I tried the Yinglong. It's not that good, so I really advise you to just go with Aether Tech. And also stack the art intensity instead of the physical bonus. It's much more better to stack this. So use those two to get more art intensity. It's giving you a lot more damage for the pan. So that's pretty much it for the gears. Let's move on to the skill rotation. Your first goal is to do basic attack to Ardelia to do a combo trigger once you do the final strike, and wait for the corrosion to proc. Once you see the corrosion, just use the skill for Ardelia to convert it to PCL susceptible, and then do admin's battle skill. And next is do the battle skill for Lifeng to do the susceptibility. And lastly, battle skill for the pan to max out the vulnerability. Then once max, just do the pan's combo trigger. And there you go. We will now repeat the same rotation. Ardelia's combo skill. And now use Ardelia's skill to convert it to physical susceptible. And next is use admin skill to get a vulnerability stack. And next up is Lifeng's skill to do the susceptible. And here I use Lifeng's ultimate to get stacks, and do Endbin's combo to get the origin, then the pan. And that's pretty much the rotation for the physical team. And hope this helps. And thank you for watching. And see you soon. Bye.